I'm Paul Weller, the Nationals member for Rodney. I've lived in Lockington all my life. I was educated here at the primary school and then went to Rochester to the secondary school. Our family business has grown from a couple hundred cows to about 600 cows on about 1,500 acres here in Lockington. The climate here is good and water when it does rain, and we'll return to good years hopefully into the future. It's a great place for all types of farming. We have horticulture, prime beef, prime lambs and many diversification of different crops here in the Lockington area. When we're faced with challenges like the bank closing and the petrol stations we're looking at closing, the community came together and formed what they call the Community Business Centre, where volunteers man the serving of the petrol and the bank comes to town 3 or 4 days a week. We have a diverse range of businesses in the town itself. There's the diesel mechanics, there's petrol motor mechanics, there's shed builders, there's pump builders, there's milking machine technicians, there's hairdressers, there's a supermarket which has a diverse range of lines in the supermarket, a bakery, plus there's a hardware store there. There's all the needs that you would need in country Victoria here in our small community of 400. The great thing about Lockington is if there is a need, there'll be someone in the community with the energy and the entrepreneurial skills to fill that gap and to fill that need. If we have a look at some of the businesses in town, shows the diversity of talents and skills that we have in the community.
Hi, my name's Josh Pentreath. I work at Lockington Foodworks, Thrifty Link, and my parents own this building. My grandpa owned it before him. They've owned it since 1970, and we have a large range of things. We go from bakery to deli to groceries to hardware. We do gas runs. Dad fixes pumps. It's basically an all-in-one shop in a very small town. One of the ways we've improved our service would be delivering. All the groceries get delivered to the door for the older couples and that sort of thing. If they can't drive in, we'll take it to you. We also implemented a bakery in '92, I think, and that also just shows people that they can see we're baking the stuff fresh here. Everything's made on the premises. Our pies don't taste the same as anyone else's pies. We've started baking organic goods, so we do pasties, pies, potato pies. Probably the best thing about Lockie is just the family, I think. Everyone is family orientated in Lockie. You go to the footy and everyone's here, like a family orientated footy club, and basically you come here, it's got a great school and great supermarket, all the little things, family and friends, I think.
Hi, my name's Brianna Sims. I'm the local hairdresser here at Lockington. I run the salon Colours, Cuts and Curls. I've been running the business now for a year. I've taken it over from my mum. She ran it for the previous 6 years. I started my apprenticeship in Bendigo 6 years ago and worked at a salon down there and needed a change, so I moved back home. The business started out with mum and myself. We put on an apprentice, Sophie, and then moved on to having 2 after-school girls, which just help us with the jobs around the salon, Emily and Julia. A year down the track, now we're looking at expanding the business slightly. We've started off with 5 chairs and just about to put 2 more in. And one day I'd like to maybe expand the beauty side of things and go into having a day spa with massage rooms and hot stones, all sorts of different things. I love cutting people's hair. I love being the local hairdresser, and I love coming to work every day.
Hi, I'm Alexandria Brennan. I've been operating Sweet Sisters at our property in Winfield Road in Vermont for 3 years. It's a home-based wholesale cake and biscuit business that delivers to this area. I do products for cafes as well as farmers markets. I do a range of biscuits that cover your traditional types from yo-yos to chopped chips, some gluten-free products which are coconut and white chocolate macaroons, and also egg and dairy-free products, which is a mixed spice biscuit. Sweet Sisters came about, I worked as a chef for 13 years in Melbourne, and we moved back to the country about 3 years ago, and I have an extremely sweet tooth, which is why I have ended up with Sweet Sisters doing the cakes and biscuits. The great thing about living in this area and having the business is that you find that you're really well supported by the locals. They're very interested in keeping their town going. We just love our property. We love being out here and not being that close to neighbours that you have to wave to them every time you get out the door, but you know that they're only a phone call away or around the corner. Living and operating a business in a small town has been great.
Hello, I'm Robert Field. I'm the owner of this cactus garden. We're only a few miles out of Lockington. I've been doing this for 46 years now. My principal business has been the propagation of the plants and the sale of seeds that we gather from these plants. In addition, I get rather involved with natural health products, particularly relating to aloe vera and honeybee products. We run the warehouse for the world's leading company, so that is also something that works in tangent with the cactus garden. My father started collecting these plants just on 100 years ago, when it was very difficult to obtain any plants. The only way was to import them from overseas. I love my garden because it's lovely to run a business as a hobby and have a hobby as a business. Tourism means a lot to us because what's the point of having a garden like this, which has been going some 80 years? We enjoy sharing it with the many people who come to see it. As a result, you meet people from all walks of life, and there's so many you look forward to seeing them again and again and again.
Yeah, g'day, I'm Neil Taylor, Lockington resident. We've got a farm around the corner here. We're farmers, been here for 20 years. Bred our family up here, and I'm working for Woodlands Dairies here, Pete and Bev Woodland and their family. Standing in this beautiful 2-year-old rotary, 50-unit rotary dairy. It's a real modern, up-to-date whiz-bang dairy. It's great. It makes the job a lot easier when you're milking, at the moment with 300 cows, but up to 500 cows. The dairy industry around here has sort of been through a tough time because of the drought. But people are getting on with it. They've changed their methods and a lot of lot feeding going on, and farming's changed. I would say anyone in Melbourne who is doing it tough with mortgages and traffic and all the other stuff that goes with it down there, get up in the bush and get a job on a farm. The rent's a lot cheaper. It's a great lifestyle to bring up kids. Lockington in particular is a fantastic community, and you don't have to lock your house every night or your car. It's 3 o'clock and we've got to get the cows in. So we'll get organised and start bringing the girls in, and you'll have a bit of a look at them wandering into the yard.
Hi, I'm David Johnson. I'm the owner-operator of the Carriages Vineyard, which is located just north of Lockington. We have 15 acres of grapes under vine, which we planted back in 1996, so we've been operating for about 12 years now. And we're the only vineyard within probably 20 kilometres of here. This is a family-run business. My wife Lyndall and I, and also involvement from my father-in-law and mother-in-law. We're now producing a Cabernet Merlot, a Merlot, and a Reserve Cab Sav, and then in the whites we have a straight Semillon and also a Chardonnay. To help justify the venture, I decided to build a home out of railway carriages because I'm not a builder, but I do enjoy restoring furniture, and I sort of thought, well, if I had 4 walls and a ceiling, I could actually do something. Look, we've been faced with drought and I guess a bit of a glut in the market with grapes, so it's been quite quite a testing time for vineyard operators. We've also just recently invested in 2 railway carriages which we plan to renovate for a bed and breakfast. The majority of people that visit Echuca are from Melbourne, and we're hoping that our bed and breakfast will help those people come out to our bed and breakfast and then take the further step to visit Lockington.
I'm Craig Sobey. I'm a organic farmer from near Lockington. Started farming this way 7 years ago, and as a result of that we formed a network of organic farmers across Australia called Central Victorian Organic Network, and we developed a brand called Puralia, which stands for Pure Australia. The network's grown in a single year to over 400 members, and it continues to grow. We run forums around Australia, and they're about to educate farmers about the opportunities that organic industry offers them right now. The Puralia brand's only been really in the shops for about 6 months, and it's quite difficult to establish a rapport with customers. You've got to do a lot of in-store promotions, a lot of education, and it's all costing money. We really just want to convert a lot of small farmers over to biological farming or organic farming, because the benefits to them for their incomes and to their local communities are very vast. Most people just look at it as a fringe type of activity. We want to move it central and make it a core activity of farming. We believe Australia's in the best position to provide organic food in the world because of our soil conditions. I think the meat quality is far superior than anything else on the market, and most people that do the taste test in-store, in Melbourne or in the country, they think it's fantastic. Especially older people, anyone over 65, they always say, oh, this is what lamb used to taste like. Yeah, it's organic, it's good for you.
Hi, I'm Yvette McCormack Hall. This is an introduction to my businesses. I have Yvette's Field Nursery, where I sell plants, Lockie Meats, where I sell meat, and also the Campaspe Library Depot, where people can come and borrow a book or just sit there and have a chat. I bought my old nursery and library depot about 10 years ago, and we bought Lockie Meats about 5 years ago and decided to join them both all together. In a little town you have to be very diverse, just for community services, and it keeps everyone where they don't have to travel to Echuca, and everyone can be self-sufficient in a little town. We service the community with Lockie Meats. We buy organic beef from the farmer up the road. With the library we put holds on books for people if the books are in Echuca, and we get them brought out here so people don't have to travel. We also deliver books to people that aren't very well in the community. And with the plants, we just offer plants when people want to come in and get certain punnets. We order them for them. I know all my customers and they get personal service, which is the best thing about living in a small town. Knowing their names, they know me, they know my family. It's just wonderful.
Lockington is a wonderful business community with a great deal of diversity and a great deal of energy. If ever there's a challenge that they meet it, it's a wonderful community to be part of, and I'm proud to be part of it. I've been here all my life and intend to be here for the rest of my life. It's a great community.